Good morning, welcome along. Today is Saturday, I'll have a go again at that. Today is Saturday, the 1st of August 2020. It's 8 a.m. This is our morning mission, our morning movement mission, our first mission of the day. Now, if you're on catch up, this isn't one you want, then go find us, catch up with the one you want, and then we'll see you later on. If you are also on catch up and you want to skip through this preamble, then feel free to do so. There's lots of stuff you can do on catch up, really, isn't there? You can pause it, you can have a look at stuff, you can miss out the ramblings of me in the Midlands, lots of stuff. But if you are watching us live or going to be watching us live, then stay with us, have a little chat, let us know what you've been up to. No one there at the moment. So who's going to be first on the list today? I wonder who's going to be first to pop up on my my screen and let me know that they're here. Be good too, because I don't really want to talk to myself. It'd be nice to have someone to talk to. I tell you what, while you're doing that, I'm going to open a window. So while we wait for somebody to come up, let's open the window, get a bit of fresh air in here. It's a little bit warm again this morning. Now I know Georgie's around, so Georgie there. Hello, anybody around at all? Oh, there we are, there's George, look, popped up. Had an interrupted night's sleep. Yeah, you were saying the heat. Bit of a warm one. We slept with the windows open again last night. But it feels a bit sticky again this morning. I don't know what it's like where you are. Anyway, hopefully you have a better night's sleep tonight, George, and you have a productive day as well. Let's see who else we've got. So we've got somebody else around with us. Who's our second person into the mansion this morning? Let me know who you are, where you are, what you're up to. A geist already. Ooh. I don't understand that, George. What's that? I've not come across that word before. Morning, Rita's in. Good to have you with us. Good to have you in from Brennan. Hope everything's okay with you. This is our first movement snack of the day, our morning movement, our mobility, circulation booster, get us set up for the day ahead. So good morning to you. Good morning to Susanna's in from a sunny Dundee. What's it like where you are there, Susanna? Is it a bit muggy as well, or is it just sunny? It's a little bit muggy here this morning. Beautiful, nice day, but a little bit muggy. So we'll see what the day turns out like. I'm back home, back in Coventry, back ready to get the movement going again for this 1st of August. Pinch and a punch, first day of the month, isn't it? White rabbits and all that. Good morning, Apostolis. Good to have you with us from Greece. Hope everything's okay with yourself and you're having a good morning. Good morning to Christine, and good morning, muggy and wet where you are in Port Talbot, Gillian. Yeah, it's a little bit muggy here as well. Right, George. Agist, okay, I got it. August in North East Scotland, there we go. I've got it now, George. I'm with you. I've only just woken up, to tell you the truth. Really hot where you are in Greece, Apostolis. Hopefully it's nice and sunny as well. It's hot here, but it's cloudy and it's muggy. It's that sticky sort of feeling. Not nice. Good morning, Diana, in from Somerset. Sunny where you are as well, which is lovely to hear. And fabulous for yourself, Susanna. It's a lovely sunny day then. It's nice and lovely warm weather, which is great to have. Trevor's in. Good morning from Llanbrynmere. Good to have you with us. Cloudy where you are today, Trevor. Yeah, cloudy here. I'm back home in Cov. Back home in the Midlands after a lovely week away in Norfolk. But it's nice to be back. Right, who else have we got then? Gillian, good morning to yourself. That's Gillian Matthews in. Adele, good to see you. Haven't seen you in a while, Adele. Good to have you back. I'm back home in Cambridge. Sunny where you are. Remember the morning snack I remembered my morning stat while I was away. There you go. You were still there. I just didn't catch hold of you coming in. Good morning, Vivian. Good to have you with us. Overcast and muggy where you are. Sheila, we've got part of the collective in. That's good to know. Happy August and lovely sunny morning from Whiz Beach. Lovely Whiz Beach. Good morning to Bob, who's in. Early sun, but now it's disappeared. Yeah, I think it's going to be a cloudy day. They're forecasting rain for us today, but hopefully they've got that a little bit wrong. And good morning to yourself, Christine, who's in from Penzance, where it's overcast just now. Right, okay. Let's get ready to go with our 3, 2, 1 then, shall we? So we're on 8 o'clock. 3, 2, 1. Good morning. My name is Dave Montgomery from Later Life Training. Today is Saturday, the 1st of August, 2020. Our first movement snack of the day. Our first opportunity to add some additional movement minutes over and above everything we're doing into our day. Now, you need to just decide whether you're going to do it in a standing position or in a seated position. In our standing position, we need external fixed support, and in our seated position, we're going to be in an active seated position. So we're going to make sure we're sitting good and tall in a strong, safe, steady chair. Okay, if you want to lose the comments, swipe to the right and they will be gone. Let's get our posture set and let's get ourselves set ready for our movement snack. Okay, here we go. So, standing or seated, we'll start with our posture. So we're going to start with our heels in line with our knees in line with our hips. From there, we're going to lift an extra inch. So grow taller between your ribs and your hips. Lift your shoulders up, take them back, bring the shoulder blades together and press down with those shoulders, keeping the neck lengthened. In our chair, if we're in a seated position, the first thing we need to do is a hip walk into the front third of the chair. Once we're there, bottom is our feet, so sit tall through your bottom. Yeah, see how we just grow a little inch straight away from there. Lift from the ribs, so you get that extra inch and sit taller between your ribs and hips. Shoulders up, back, down and press. Neck lengthened. From there, let's take it to a foot paddle. So we're lifting onto the ball of the foot and the toes, and going with the heel. Can you hear my ankle cracking today? In our standing position, we're exactly the same with this movement here. So pedaling through the feet, lifting up onto the ball of the foot and the toes, so we can feel a crease behind the toes, between the toes and the ball of the foot. From there, let's take it into a march. So we're going to lift the foot this time. Only a small amount, we're not going a big move here, but lifting the foot off the floor, pointing the toes down to the floor and rolling through to the ball of the foot and then onto the heel. So you've got that ankle, feet and toe mobility. In our seated position, we have exactly the same. Now, the thing with the seated position is this can be quite hard work onto your hips up here, onto your hip flexors. So you may want to stay with your foot pedal, or an alternative for you is to take the toes out and just tap the toes in front and bring them back, just tapping them on the floor. From there, whichever you're doing, let's put an arm swing in. So we're going to drive that arm from our shoulder. It's the shoulder we want to focus on as we mobilise. So have a look at this movement as we drive it back. The movement is through our shoulder. We're driving that elbow back. Now, if you feel steady and stable in standing, in a seated position, you can go for it. Let's put both arms in. So we've got this march and we've got a swing of both arms. In your standing position, if you want to utilise your support, then every now and again, take a pause, as many steps as you need to turn, to change direction and start with the other hand. Another option for you as far as that march is concerned, you may want to bring the hands together on a sort of canoeing motion. So we're bringing the arms forward with the fingers touching and driving back. Can you see that we've still got that motion through the shoulder? So we're still driving the elbow backwards. We're keeping the arms into the body, so we're focusing onto the shoulder mobility. Now this is our circulation booster, so it's getting us ready for the day ahead. It's switching the body on, ready for some activity. It's boosting the circulation, exactly what it says on the tin. It's warming the muscles, it's loosening the joints, it's warming those joints. And it's getting us breathing a little bit harder. So we're getting some more oxygen into the body and we're getting the blood to where it needs to be. After about a minute or 2 minutes, let's take a little pause, and we should just feel as though we want to take a deep breath or a couple of deep breaths, but you shouldn't be out of breath. So just and you can feel that the body is a little bit warmer and a little bit less stiff, shall we say. Okay, let's start with our top trio. So we're going to start with our shoulders. Firstly, we lift them towards our ears and we lower them down. We lift and we lower. In our seated position, exactly the same. Focus on this movement, keeping the neck long and bringing the shoulders up towards those ears and then pressing them back down. Now, if you have any asymmetry, so one side that's a little bit less mobile than the other, just have a little focus on that as well. So 3, 4 or 5, and you might want to do a few more on that one side if you've got a little less mobility, but try and really focus on keeping this posture strong and keeping the neck lengthened. Take a pause after you 3, 4 or 5, and let's take it to a rotation of these shoulders. So we start off by bringing them forward. We lift them towards the ears, roll them back, shoulder blades together and press down. So you've got the full rotation of that shoulder. And what I want you to try and do is feel how that feels. How does that feel to you as you do that movement? Can you feel the shoulder joint really mobilizing? Again, keeping the neck long, so we're not going to bring the neck down. We're staying long and we're making the shoulders do the work. And work within your range of motion. And again, if you have any asymmetry, so a bit more mobility on one side than the other, give the side that's got a little less a few extra, just to try and increase that range of mobility within there. Really important. We're using our shoulders all the time. We know when we're moving and we're putting the hands out, reading, everything, the shoulders are doing some work. They're so important to us. Take a pause after 3, 4 or 5. We're going to go to our head. Now, as far as our head is concerned, we're going to turn the head from side to side. Now, when we do that, it can challenge our balance. So have some support available in your standing position. If you want to do it without your support, that's fine, but have it there, ready. Sometimes just a touch is all you need to steady the body, okay? In our seated position, you're sitting tall, we're lifting tall, so we're maintaining that posture. Our eye line is going to stay level. We turn the head to the side, little pause to reset in the middle, turn the other way. Okay, and again, as I say, this can challenge your balance. So in standing, either utilise your support or have it there ready so you can just touch if you need to. 3, 4 or 5 on each side and focus on keeping this eye line level. Now you're bringing the chin over towards the shoulder. And again, you may have more range of movement on one side than the other. A lot of us do. But just feel how that movement feels. And again, we're continually turning our head throughout the day. But this just gives us a chance to focus on it and experience what it feels like and how it interacts with the rest of our body. 3, 4 or 5 of those, and when you've done those, take a pause. I'm going to come down onto the floor for you so you can see this better. We're going to chuck our chin back in and we're going to lengthen through the back of our neck here. So again, eye line is staying level. Fingers on chin, and a couple of options for you. You can either press back and back in, or leave your fingers where they are and come back in and forward. Now you can see that we start to get that lockdown chin, as I've called it. So you're trying to create a double chin. Eye line is staying level though. So as you come back, we bring that chin in, tuck it in, create this double chin, lengthen through the back. Sit the head back onto the spine. It's one of the heaviest parts of our body, our head. So from a postural point of view, if we can come back and sit it back onto our shoulders and our spine, it's going to make it a lot more supported and take some of that weight away and distribute it down through the body. 3, 4 or 5 of those. Once you've done those, let's go back in for a little circulation booster. So either a march with some arms or a toe tap or a pedal with the feet. Do what you feel comfortable with, okay? This is just to reboost our circulation a little bit before we go on to our trunk trio. So we're coming down to our trunk. Now, our trunk, I'm going to have to lose that cap, it's too hot. Whew. Hair like I've been dragged through a hedge backwards, but we'll go with it, yeah? Once you've done your little circulation booster, we'll come into our trunk. So, we need to have a bit of a wider stance. Let's have a bigger base of support. So a little bit of a wider stance with our feet in line with our shoulders, just outside our hips. Have a look at the movement firstly, and I'll show you some options, and then you can decide how you want to do it. The really important thing here is we focus on these hips staying still. We want to work into the trunk, into here. Yeah. So keeping the hips still, we turn to the side, pause in the centre, and then turn the other way. Have a look at the hips from the side. Look, no movement. Turn, side, turn. To help keep those hips still, knees are soft, so we're not going to bend them, but we're going to keep them soft. We're not going to lock them out. Keep them slightly soft so you can focus onto it. Now, in a standing position, to try and focus on to keeping those hips still, if you've got something you can lean against, there you go. You can feel whether the hips are moving. If you're in a standing position and utilising support, then still a wide base of support, turn in to your support. If you have support in front of you, then you can take your hands across. This is a really good one though, if you feel that your hips are moving, to do in a seated position. So if you want to come from a standing to a seated position, feel the chair behind you, lower down with control, no plonking into the chair, and then take a little hip walk into the front third of the chair. From there, we have this rotation through our trunk. Now, the reason this is a really good one if you feel that your hips are moving is because you can feel, very similar to when you have you leaning against something, if you've got contact with it, if your hips are moving, you're going to feel the bottom lifting. So if you can feel your bottom lifting, your hips are moving. So you can focus on that. Now, 3, 4 or 5 on each side. Work within your own range and at your own speed. Whatever the range is, it's the right range. All right. Keep those hips focused. Keep the posture strong. Remember that little pause just to reset in the middle. And if you find yourself coming down, just reset before you go the other way. Once you've done your 3, 4 or 5 on either side, have a little pause there and let's take it in for a side bend. So, wide stance again. Again, let me show you from the front firstly. We're going to come down to the side and lift back up. Now, take the hand down the leg if you can, or in line with the leg, because what we want to do is go straight down and straight up. We don't want to come forward or backwards as we do this. So have a look from the side, straight down, straight up. Again, if we're utilising support, we're going to come into the support. So lead in towards the support, bend towards it, do 3, 4 or 5 on that side, as many steps as you need to turn, and then change to the other side. In our seat, we can utilise the legs of the chair as a focus point for us to come down and come up. Now, you don't have to have your hands going down your leg or down the chair leg, but I think it's a good idea myself because it gives us an idea of the range. So we might find that after a week or so of doing this, actually we can reach a bit further. Now, those moves together, we utilise them continually. If we're bending down to get something up, you know, we turn to pick things up. We turn and bend as well, so we even have that rotation and that side bend coming down to pick things up. In your car, putting your seatbelt on, looking over your shoulder to see what's behind you. Getting dressed, there's a bit of a trunk rotation in there as we put our hand behind us. So lots of opportunities in everyday life where you're utilising that move, and again, this is just our chance to focus on it. Okay, once you've done your 3, 4 or 5, take a pause and let's finish off our trunk trio. So, standing tall, hips again, but what we want to focus on this time is the pelvis not tipping forward or tipping backward. So again, we can do this in a seated position, we can do it leaning against. But have a look. Pelvis stays still, upper back, back and forward. Yeah, so we've got that. Can you see? I'm not standing quite right, am I? There we go. That movement there, and if this is tight, you can see. Let me show you in a seated position, you'll probably see it better from there. So here we are, back and up. Now again, eye line, so don't let your head go back. Keep it where it is, get that locked down chin again, and focus into feeling this movement through your lower back with that back extension. Shoulders are back and pressed down still, so we've got that good tall posture. And again, in our standing position, this is a good one sometimes when you've got something to lean against. Again, you can feel that movement, but also you can feel whether your hips are moving in your pelvis. So you want to make sure that the pelvis stays still. So we really focus this movement into here. What can happen is we can go like that to really arch the back, and we don't want to do that. We want to keep this here. It's not talking about a big arch into the back, it's extending through. Okay, once you've done your 3, 4 or 5, take a little march, a little toe tap, a little heel lift. Just boost the circulation again, and let's go to the downstairs trio. The ankle, the feet and the toes. Right, so standing position, lifting onto our toes. Have a look, the first couple. See where the toes are, and then lift and put the heel in exactly the same place. So we lift and we put it down. So you've got that real full movement, or as much movement as you can, through your ankle joint. In our seated position, we have a couple of options. Firstly, we need to reset the feet a little bit by bringing them slightly behind our knees, so we can then go for our toes and our heel. Yeah. Another option for you is to sit back into the chair, extend the leg out in front, push the toes away, bring them in towards your shin. Push away, in towards the shin. There we go. Now, with this one, what we don't want to feel is a stretch into the calf at the back. So if you can feel a stretch there, lower the foot a little bit. Yeah, you'll feel some lengthening of that muscle, but you don't want to feel a stretch like you do in our late session at 4 o'clock, where we actually focus on stretching that muscle. 3, 4 or 5 of those on either side. Now, just to finish off, if standing is on your radar as far as the seated position is concerned, and just to really focus on this movement and how it relates to us in everyday life, let's take it into its natural form. So with our support there, we step forward, heel down, come through onto the toes at the back, and then bring it back in. There's your heel toe action, look. Heel at the front, toe at the back, and as you step back in and change it over, you get exactly the same. So a heel and a toe. So you're really focusing on that movement. Yeah, and that is a walk, isn't it? That's how we walk, basically. We go heel, toe, and there's that movement. Now, your ankles are really important to you. They're a crucial part of our stability. They make little adjustments as we're walking. If there's an uneven pavement, they're continually adjusting to make sure that you stay stable. So building their mobility, building their strength, and building their flexibility is a crucial part of staying steady. That's us done for a Saturday morning. Happy August, everybody. It's the 1st of August. White rabbits, pinching a punch, and all those sorts of slogans that we have. Have a wonderful day. I hope it's not too hot for you all again today, and not too muggy either. Have a great day putting some extra movements in. Take some opportunities to crowbar in some more of those mobility movements throughout the day. Think about where you can do them. Enjoy your Saturday. You'll have Bex with you at lunchtime. Kelsey will be with you at 4 o'clock, and I'll see you tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.